Apple Knocker Radio.
All right, how's it going, guys? So, I'm having a bit of a rough week, honestly. No particular reason. I don't really know what's going on. Has to be something in the old subconscious or deeper down in the deeper levels of my being, down in the soul, down in the spirit or something. I'm not really sure. But it's been kind of a rough week for me. And it has me thinking. I've thought many times back to something that was said by a fighter named Caceres. And I just wanted to share it. I do not keep this channel as a way to blab about myself. I keep this to share things that I think may benefit other people, whether that be in a spiritual, philosophical, or just generalist sense. And I believe this is one of those things that people can benefit from. And so, like I said, I've been just dealing with insomnia and just not in a real good inner place. And it's odd because I am normally very good at maintaining my inner states. I can control my inner states very well at this point in my life. Something's going on this week that I cannot. And yet, I have conducted myself each day pretty much how I normally would. You know, get up, make the bed, knock out some push-ups, do my reading, do my studies, do my prayers, do my meditation, and then work. Like I'm getting it all done and moving forward in my life, despite the fact that internally, there's just something going on and it's not right. I'm not feeling real great right now. And so really this is about discipline, but I have thought specifically back to something that was stated by a guy named Caceres. If you follow mixed martial arts, you probably know who Caceres is, but if not, Caceres, it's Bruce Leroy, man. He's an MMA fighter. He's a black dude with a big afro, and his nickname is Bruce Leroy, which I believe is a reference back to The Last Dragon, that great 70s film. But despite the humorous name, Alex is actually a very philosophical and he's a thinker, man, and I really admire him. He's one of my favorite fighters. He always has something philosophical to say. He's like an old school martial artist. The way, you know, when you're a kid, or at least when we used to be kids, that's probably changed now, but when you were, you know, a kid, you know, in 70s or 80s, me 90s, whatever, you know, martial artist was a person who acted with honor, and it wasn't just a fighter, it was a very philosophical, thoughtful person, right? Like being a martial artist was a path to personal enlightenment. Caceres actually embodies that. He actually lives it, and he's a fascinating guy, and I really admire him. He always has something interesting to say. But there was something he said after one fight in particular, and I unfortunately, as I started talking about this, I realized I can't remember which fight it was. But after the fight, he had won the fight, and he was talking to another fighter named Paul Felder, who also acts as a, I don't know what you'd call an interviewer, journalist during the fights, commentator. And so Felder was asking him, and Caceres said, and I'm going to be paraphrasing here because I don't have the exact words, but Caceres said, "You can't always count on courage to be there when you need it. But if you act with honor, you will act as though you have courage." Just want to say that again, man, because it really is profound, and I'm going to dig into it. You can't always count on courage to be there when you need it, but if you act with honor, you will act as though you have courage. And man, that is profound. Like there really is so much in what he said. And so, you know, first just let me say, anybody who has actually been in the fire, right? I mean, under intense pressure as a regular part of your life, whether it be over in combat overseas, whether it be fighting in the ring, I mean, whatever the various arenas are, you know that sometimes, no matter how strong of a person you are, no matter how much work you've done to discipline your inner states, sometimes your inner states betray you. And it's actually whenever I talk to a guy and a guy is like, "No, not me, man. I don't care, dude. I fear nothing." I'm like, "Yeah, you've never been in the fire, dude. Like you've not lived that kind of life. You've probably lived kind of an easy, sheltered life, and you probably hide from actual challenges." Because anybody who's lived their life in under serious pressure for a prolonged amount of time knows that despite all discipline, despite all your best efforts, sometimes the inner state just betrays you. And sometimes the courage just isn't there, right? And so I love how Caceres says that, because courage is an inner state, and he's saying sometimes when you need courage, it won't be there. But And this is the really fascinating and useful part, and the thing that I've been implementing all week, and the thing that I'm grateful to Caceres for, because he framed this in a way that just resonates with me emotionally. But if you act with honor, you will act as though you have courage. And that is really profound, because to say you act with honor, what is honor? Honor, at least in the context that Caceres is using these terms, honor is something that is more externally observed, right? If you act with honor, it means that you are conducting yourself with the external world in a certain manner, right? It's like, I think of it as if you walk into a room and you are quivering inside and you are terrified, but you walk into that room with your chin high, posture erect, eyes forward, acting strong, projecting strength. You are acting with honor despite the fact that you're not feeling courageous inside, right? And the reason why I find that so profound, and the reason why I have been implementing it all this week, is that you cannot always control your inner states. And I have spent a lot of my life and a lot of my time meditating and working on various observation techniques of myself to increase this ability to control my inner states. But despite that, it's not 100%, it's not infallible, man. No matter how much work you do on yourself, sometimes your inner states betray you. But in those moments, what you can do is act with honor, right? And how this is manifested for me, like, I have a routine. I wake up in the morning, I read, I'm memorizing some spiritual passages, and then I do some philosophical reading, and then I do some meditation prayer. I make my bed, and then I knock out some push-ups, squats, calf raises, sometimes some other exercises. Then I start going about my day, and I have a very structured day where I like to advance all key areas of my life every single day. And I've been doing that this week, even though internally I'm not feeling it, right? Internally, I'm not feeling the courage. And in this case, it's not really courage. It's more, probably happiness, right? Like, I'm not feeling the happiness inside, but I'm still acting externally as though I am happy. And I don't mean in a shallow sense of, I'm going to pretend this way to make other people happy. That's not what I mean. And I don't believe that's what Caceres meant. What Caceres was saying was, your inner states might betray you, but if you still discipline your body and your mind to perform the proper series of actions, courage will follow, right? In his instance, say you walk into the cage, you're filled with fear. You can't stop it. The fear's in there. You can't make it go away. But what you can do is tell your body, I don't care. Stand up straight anyway. I don't care. Still breathe right. Breathe through your nose. Breathe deep. Nice, steady breaths. You focus on the external physical manifestations of things that you can control, because those things are under your mental control no matter what's going on in your inner state. And that's how I have been going about my week. And you know what? No, it hasn't made whatever this thing is going on in me go away, but it has made it better, right? Like this, if I was just laying in bed feeling sorry for myself, this would be 1,000 times worse, man. And this phase of life, and to the young guys out there, man, just let me say this: life is hard, dude, and it's going to be a consistent and regular aspect of your life that you are going to have stretches of freaking despair, dude. And it's going to manifest differently for different people, but you're going to have it. It's just life, man. It's just life. And if you need proof of that, just look to the MMA world. Look to these guys that have these incredible careers. They win like all of their fights. They're champions. They lose one fight, and all of a sudden it's as if everything that they had done before never even happened. Like that's a cliche. Happens all the time in all the sporting worlds. You have these guys have these incredible careers. Then they get old, they retire, and they plunge into depression. Right? So it's life, man. It's not. Sometimes people try to frame it as this like mountain. And when you get to the mountaintop, well, then you're on the mountaintop and you can just sit up there chilling, eating burritos and meditating and feeding goldfish or something in the pond. But that's not how it is, man. It's not how life is made. Like, life is made such that you get to the mountaintop and then an hour later, you feel like you forget everything, all of the trials that you've overcome. You forget all of those moments where you almost quit, all the heroic moments that come in climbing a mountain. And if you have never climbed a mountain, climb a mountain, man, because it's such a journey. Because as you're going up, you have to play all these mind tricks on yourself. There's so many life lessons in there, man. Because there's times when you're going up a mountain and you say, like, dude, my body's broken, dude. Like, my legs are just failing me. And I can't even see the top of the mountain. That's the big thing. That's why climbing a mountain, I think, is such a great metaphor. Because when you're at the base of the mountain, you can see the top. But once you're in the mountain, you can't see anything, man. All you can see is what's 5 feet ahead of you because you're surrounded by trees. You're surrounded by rocks. You just have to trust that if you keep going up, the top of the mountain is up there somewhere, right? And that's why it's such a great life lesson. And in that there are so many periods while you're making this climb that your body can do. I can't make this. I cannot get to the top of that mountain. But you know what I can do? I can make it this next 20 yards to that crop of boulders right there. And that's how you get up the whole freaking mountain. Is you just keep lying to yourself and narrowing your focus to something that's more close ahead of you and focusing on that. And yeah, man, that's just how life is. And so that was a bit of a sidetrack. I apologize for that. Just my point is, guys, it's inevitable. No matter how high you climb, no matter what you do, you're going to have a lot of hard times. This is life. This is the reality of existence. And so it is incumbent upon you to figure out how to manage these times, right? And we're not all the same. We're all going to manage them somewhat differently, but I do believe that generally just laying in bed and feeling sorry for yourself is just going to make things worse. And so in those moments when you can't, for some reason, you can't stir that inner fire, man, and you can't, whatever this emotional thing is inside, you can't break it. You can't get the courage, or in my case, you can't find the enthusiasm or the happiness. You just look to the crop of boulders straight ahead, but you keep moving forward and you act with honor. You manifest the external. I'm sorry. I've been dealing with insomnia all week, guys. It's part of what I'm dealing with. But you manifest the expressions and actions of a person who has honor, or in a case of somebody who's just not real happy. You still move through life. You still force your body to conduct yourself through life and to go through your daily routines. And I am 100% confident that if I have not been exercising, still making my bed every single morning, still doing my prayer, my meditation, still doing my studies, like just sticking with it anyway, even though my heart's not in it, man. My heart hasn't been in anything this week, dude. Nothing. None of this feels like it means anything, but I keep driving forward. And you know what? I know this sounds like a thin consolation, but I am 100% confident that it's a hell of a lot better than if I had just been laying in bed and rolling around in despair. And here, this was my point to the if any younger guys are listening out there. You are going to have these periods in life. And so you find your own tricks to get through them, and you will get through them. And then usually for me, when I get to the end, I've gained something from. I realized there was something that I needed to work through internally, even if I wasn't conscious of it at the time. And you end up looking back in these moments. I almost feel like there's some kind of spiritual impulse behind it, some kind of spiritual mechanics. Like it's something in our soul. It's some aspect of how our soul connects with the universe or something. I'm not really sure. But I do know that it's very reliable that when I come out of these things, I have grown and I have deepened my understanding of myself and improved my character and my moral fortitude. And so the trick is not to pretend it isn't happening to you, okay? The trick is not to pretend that you feel the courage. or that you feel the happiness. The trick is to accept what is happening, but conduct yourself with honor anyway. And in conducting yourself with honor anyway is what will get you through that till you get to the resolution. And in the resolution is when you get the rewards of this rough time that you've been going through, right? And you get to look back, you say, that's what was going on. This is what my soul was telling me I needed to do. And so that's it. This is longer than I intended it to be. But I do hope that this is useful to people. And I do hope any of you out there, and most, I think just at this point, everybody who follows this channel is a philosophically, spiritually inclined person. I also encourage you to just go check out Alex Caceres. I mean, his material out there online is kind of sporadic. You more have to kind of like look up interviews and things like that. But he's got a lot of really useful things to say, man. And he's a guy who's accomplished a lot in his life. And he's just a cool dude and somebody who I admire. And you can learn a lot about life and you can gain a lot from Alex Caceres. And that's it, man. I hope all of you have great Thursdays, great weeks, great years. We've got New Year coming up, man. That's another thing, dude. New Year is coming up. Don't wait for the New Year. Don't wait for New Year's Eve, man. Like, seriously, start thinking now. I'd hit that next year hard. What do I want to do next year, man? What do I want to do next? What do I want to accomplish? What do I want to build myself into? What do I want to build my family around me into, or my friends, or my community, whatever it is? And especially this year, guys, 2024 is going to be bonkers, man. It's going to be bonkers. We all know the political, spiritual war that's going on right now. Whatever this, I mean, they're fighting for the future of what reality will look like. And I think 2024 is going to be bonkers. And so what? So what? Act with honor anyway. Conduct yourself with honor anyway. And start thinking right now, what am I going to accomplish next year? What am I going to contribute to the world in this chaotic situation? Right? I'll never tell anybody what to do or how to live their lives. But I would suggest, knowing that we are living through these times of extreme transformation and change and uncertainty and anxiety and fear, ask yourself, do I want to be this selfish, self-absorbed person through all of this that focuses on meaningless, stupid things with no significance and no consequence? Or do I want to look back and be able to say, where was I in the war, man? I was contributing in this way. And when I say this, I mean, dude, this is a psychological thing that's going on. This is I think it's a spiritual thing, but I kind of try to avoid that because I still want to be able to communicate in a meaningful way to materialists and the atheist types. And but I personally think it's a spiritual thing, but it's clearly a psychological thing, dude. All you hear about, man, everybody's lonely, everybody's broken inside. There's all this despair. Dude, the opportunity is out there to be a hero, man. There's never been more opportunities to be a hero. So, do you want to be a hero in 2024, or do you want to be a passive spectator on the sidelines, man? Like, seriously, think about this, because it's coming up, a couple weeks, man. Don't think of the psychological dynamics that are at play, okay? Like, think about the psychological dynamics at play, because if you hit the new year, and this happens all the time, New Year's Eve comes along and people say, I'm going to make all these New Year's resolutions. But then New Year's Eve comes out, you drink, you do something stupid just like you were doing in the past. And I understand that just came out as a judgment against people that drink. Sorry, guys, I despise alcohol. I think alcohol is complete piss and garbage. It's garbage. But whatever. I wasn't trying to make anybody feel bad or anything. I'm just saying. My point is, New Year's Eve comes around, you do your thing, and then you wake up the next morning and you don't follow through on your resolution. And so then what happens? 2 days later, you go, I did it again. I failed again. Let me try to get back to it. But now you're already fighting an uphill battle, man. You put yourself behind the 8 ball, dude. It's not the way to do it. Not the way to do it. Prepare now. Look at New Year's Eve not as the last night before the transformation. Look at it as the starting gate, man. It's part of the transformation. It begins on New Year's Eve night, man. It begins on New Year's Eve night. It actually should begin right now. I'm working to watch my language. It should start right now, right? It should start 2 weeks ago, man. It should have started 10 years ago, but it should definitely start right now. Hit 2024 hard, man. We need you. We all need everybody to be their best right now, man. Everybody is going to the path of least resistance and allowing the despair to make them full of despair and to feel weak and to not help and to not contribute and to not pitch in. And one could say that that's exactly what the bastards are trying to accomplish. You gonna let the bastards win? I'm not. Even this week, as I'm feeling the despair. I don't care. I'm still moving forward. I'm still conducting myself with honor. All right? But anyway, that's it. 2024 is coming up, man. Let's get ready. Seriously, what do you got? What do you got in store, man? What do you have? What do you have ready? What do you have in your back pocket that you're ready to take out for next year? What are you going to accomplish? Could you make it one of the best years of your life despite the fact that we know there's going to be global chaos? Yeah, I think you can. I think you can. I plan on it. I plan on it 100%, man. So anyway, all right. Peace out, everybody. Bye.